Hello, it's Jamie Koo, your fabulous host, and today we're talking about offerings. Now, come on, you've got to admit it, everyone is a little bit stingy, even you. Okay? We'd rather spend money on a new handbag, or a new iPhone, or new makeup, but if someone asks us to give a donation to the temple, we go, no, we don't have any money. Or we give $5 and we think that we are amazing. So, no, I don't think so, okay? You know, that handbag is cool, but for some people, even a handbag's not going to make a difference, okay? Oops, that was a little mean. But okay, His Eminence Samtoku Rinpoche gives a much more compassionate and very, very amazing explanation about why offerings are so important. It's all in here, but we know you lazy people don't want to read 208 pages, so we've made it real simple for you. We've clipped out videos, and in the following video, Rinpoche will be talking about offerings. So sit tight, listen up, and stop being stingy.
As it was during Buddha's time, operates on the basis that we do not teach unless requested. We do not force unless the person is willing. And we do not use all types of methods to force, to make, and to wrongly tempt people into Dharma practice. Because the basic belief is, if they don't have the karmic affinity, even if they enter, they're not really practicing Dharma. And it could even be detrimental. Detrimental. So therefore, it goes on the basis where Lord Buddha has started out, which is to only teach when requested. Now it forms a dilemma. And what's the dilemma? The dilemma is during Buddha's time, before Buddha started speaking, nobody knew what to ask. Nobody knew what to request. Nobody knew what to ask or what to say or what questions. They didn't even know they're suffering. Nothing. So that was the dilemma. So therefore, following along the principles of all past Buddhas, where it cannot be taught unless requested, then the Buddha emanated into the audience. He had students that were part of him, that would request the appropriate teachings, do the prostrations, make the appropriate offerings to set an example to others. Now, a mendicant monk like Lord Buddha, who lived in the forest and lived except during the rainy season, who wandered, who begged for his food, who kept no possessions except a few monk items that he had, what would he want with offerings? Why would he want to emanate as a student who made offerings to him to show that other people should make offerings to him? And even when Buddha got the offerings, he gave it away immediately. So it's definitely something that benefits the requester and not the receiver. Definitely. So therefore, it is by Buddha's own methods during his lifetime that people can make a connection with an enlightened being. What's the best way? Is by making an offering of flowers, offering of rice, precious metals, precious items, whatever that was within the person's capacity and means. They offered in order to make a link and to create the merit on which the teachings can be supported on. And hence, one of the 6 parameters is giving or generosity. Hence, we make offerings of the 3 jewels every single day. So therefore, in the future, the Buddha predicted that when I am not around, those who make offerings to the images that represent an enlightened being will be equivalent to making to an enlightened being directly. That was from Buddha's own words. And in the future, I will emanate. I will appear as your Dharma teachers. Making offerings to your Dharma teachers will be equivalent to making offerings to me. Now that can be misconstrued. Twisted people like me can run around and say that without explanation, and then I can trick people. But that can have 2 meanings. It can mean that some Dharma teachers actually are enlightened. So making offerings to them automatically creates a lot of merit. There are some teachers that objectively they are not enlightened, but subjectively we are supposed to visualize them as enlightened in order to have a bigger benefit. So objectively, if they're not enlightened and they tell you that making offerings to me is equivalent to making offerings to Buddha, there's something wrong there. There's something wrong. We can make offerings out of appreciation, We can make offerings out of sustenance to take care of our teachers. We can make offerings out of appreciation. We can make offerings as a token of our gratitude. Those are all right motivations for making offerings. But the real reason for making offerings, the real one, is in order that we can create the propensity to receive the Dharma and to achieve the Dharma. That is the real reason we make offerings. And it's done without expectation. A real Dharma master, a real Dharma being, or a Buddha, needless to say, would not expect offerings. They would not be excited about it. They're not looking forward to it. And they would not use or do or enact any of their knowledge for receiving offerings. Never. And they will not see the offerings as praise or gratitude or thanks. They will see it as an object immediately to transform to offer up to the three jewels for the giver, for the one who is offered. There's a lot of complex meditation involved in receiving and taking offerings. For example, I am definitely not a qualified being. Definitely not. I am not an object of offering, I would think, in any way. But people do make offerings to me. So what I do immediately is that, so their offerings are not wasted, their effort, going to the store, their money, and all the love and care that they put into their gifts are not wasted. I make sure that I offer it up to the three jewels. So what I do is I have a special place on my altar, and I place in front of my altar, I purify it with incense and offer it to the three jewels, and I will think about that person. And in certain cases, make more offerings for them in return, because they believe and they trust in me. And I look inside and I know I don't have the qualities to receive those offerings. And on the basis of myself, they receive merits. I know I don't have that. So I need to go one step further. Everything from a picture to a postcard, to dollars, to money, to checks, to flowers, to clothes, anything that's offered to me, I never think it's for me. Everything is offered up to the three jewels. And it's on my altar at least for 24 hours. And then I will use it or disperse it or give it away or whatever is necessary. Very, very important. Why? A, from my side, since I am not a qualified object of offering, if I pretend I am, Nime Chimbo Sagres in Tibetan means there's heavy downfalls for me. Heavy downfalls. And I don't need that. But if I get the offerings and I use it for positive purposes, if I use it for my actual sustenance, my real sustenance, actual, then it benefits the giver. Because why? It helps to sustain me to do Dharma work. And if I also direct my excess to others to help, it also benefits the giver. So for me, an offering is an offering. I don't think of it anymore. I think of it as an object, again, to make them have a stronger connection to the Dharma. A proper object of offering, a person who does not need to make any prayers in return, any prayers to return, is a Buddha or a Bodhisattva. A Buddha or a Bodhisattva does not need to make any prayers in return. Their being automatically generates merit. Anything you do positive towards them. Anything. A fully ordained monk or an arhat. A fully ordained monk or an arhat. When you make offerings to them, and a monk who keeps their vows, then when they receive the offerings from you, you automatically collect merit, but from the side of the recipient, they must do dedications and prayers back, because it's equivalent to swallowing hot lava. So anyone below that, which includes us, we have to be very careful with people's offerings, people's money, people's help. We have to be very careful.
So are we going to stop being stingy now? You know, making offerings actually isn't anything new to us. We're already making offerings all the time to ourselves and ourselves and ourselves. So let's take out a little percentage of that offering to ourselves and offer it to something much bigger and greater, like our lamas and the three jewels. Okay? And if you want to hear more or understand more, or you just really like the look of this book, then check out all 208 pages packed full of juicy, juicy secrets and insider advice as to how to be the best spiritual practitioner in the whole wide world. And for this week, you know, maybe it might be a little bit difficult to start on that path of being Mother Teresa, but, you know, instead of going out to buy a handbag, maybe you could subscribe to us instead. Okay? And don't forget to leave your comments. Just one. Start your practice of generosity. And today we're talking about offerings. Now, you do that.
Okay, I'm supposed to be talking and I look at me.
Okay. Just continue. Okay. Hello, it's Jamie Koo, your fabulous host.